We'll see. Yeah, see, doing a better job. All right. So we're going to do potatoes with some fresh and dry herbs and butter, and then boneless breasted chicken. We're going to grill it. They're really big, the ones I got today, so that's what was on sale. So I'm assuming a lot of us will probably buy them. They were like $2 a pound, right? So they're enormous. So what we want to do first is get them. I already have water on the stove. I'll show you that in a second. But I want to get the little seasoning on the chicken breasts. I just turned the grill on, so it's warming up. Can you make sure the bottom's down, or the top is down, please? I'll try not to let it see you. Okay, you're not in. You're good.
Top's on.
Top's down. Okay. So I've had these out for probably 45 minutes tempering. They still feel very cold. Okay. So I'm going to put. I'm going to leave them in here. I'm going to put a little seasoning. I ran it through a mill. My little NutriBullet blender, or if it was spice grinder, you can do that. So we're going to put a little bit of this. It's basically herbs de Provence, salt, peppers, a little bit of red pepper flake, and then it's about what I have on it, okay? I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to put a little extra virgin olive oil. If I have a blend, which I don't have a lot of right now, I would use that, and then only use the extra virgin at the end. And then I have some balsam vinegar. I like to call that, I think I mentioned last week, Italian barbecue sauce. All right, so I'll put a little bit of that on. All right, and I might just put just a little more of this. I want it coated, but I don't want it too crusty. And I'm going to flip them, and I'm going to put a little more on the other side. I'm using a chef's fork. A pair of tongs would be fine, but for some reason I put this out. I realize my tongs are outside. Okay, so again, a little bit of vinegar, just a little bit. A little bit of oil. Again, I don't want this. I already got some in the bottom, so I don't want too much in there. I don't want it dripping on the pan, on the grill, if you will. I'm gonna put a little bit of that in there. All right. So we'll leave this. Normally, I might do this earlier in the day, the seasoning of it, to give it a little more flavor into the meat, if you will. But I wanted to do it with you, and it'll be fine. But like half a day, you know, a few hours would be better. So we'll let that sit here for a second. Actually, I'll put it over on the table. This hasn't had chicken on it yet, so I'm just gonna leave this here for a second. All right. And I'm cooking a little more. The chicken packets today were big too. So I'm going to mark them on the grill, start cooking them. I have the oven on 225, and then I'll put them in the oven and let them finish cooking a little slower. So I'll get the flavor from the grill and all that, and then we'll finish cooking in the oven. If I was smaller breasts, I could cut those in half, but I want to show you that this is actually pretty easy to do, right? Just take them right out of the packet. Just to make sure I'm going to give my hands a rinse. And then I'm going to grill a bunch of vegetables. I've got kind of typical summer vegetables, if you will. So I've got eggplant, I've got zucchini, some peppers, and Vidalia onions that we're going to also season similarly as we did the chicken. I have here water, salt, and I put some bay leaves in it for the potatoes. I've got small potatoes. I'm just going to let that cook for a second. They won't take too long to cook. And I've got a pot here with a little butter melting eventually and some of the dry herbs. And that's actually just herbs de Provence. And then I'm going to mince some garlic and some fresh herbs and put them in there. That'll get blended and melty with a little extra virgin olive oil. When the potatoes are done, we'll toss the potatoes in there. And then at the end, I've got some fresh chives still. And I will cut the chives and we'll have the confetti of the chive on the potatoes. All right, so let's get this out of the way. So grab the knife, wrap your fingers around it, give it a smack. And the garlic clove will mostly come out. Should have almost no peel. And then same thing over here. Again, add as much garlic as you like to what your flavor preference is, if you will. All right, and I'm gonna go like this with the knife. I'm gonna make it as small, skinny slices as possible. Trying to cut on the down forward motion of the knife. I might normally stand like this, but because of where the camera is and my little kitchen counter here. You go this way. And then I'm going to come back. So I did what I call cutting the slices or slabs first. So if you noticed, I had my equipment out. I have my, so we're live on, I just got a message. So it's going live on YouTube channel too now. So it's figured itself out finally. So now I have sticks, if you will. I'm going to turn the sticks and I'm going to come back and make my little, they're not squares, but just for our process is always the same. So I cut slabs, slices, then I cut my sticks, and then I cut my little squares. Much more efficient than just hacking at it. You've all heard people do this. Okay. And now I'm just going to walk the knife back and forwards a little bit. You can make this as minced as you like, as fine as you like. All right. And instead of trying to move it, the product, I'm moving my knife. My fingers are like this so that they don't slide off. I'm not going to cut myself. Okay, as long as I'm not going like this, I'm not going to cut myself, all right? So we're going to pop this into this pot here. Eventually put a little heat on it. Not yet. All right, and then we're going to do a little fresh herbs. So I can do this in the same place. I don't need to clean my hands right now. So our parsley is finally growing out there nicely. I'm going to leave the little bit of stalk that I have. I like the crunchy and extra flavor you get from that. And our chives are doing really well. Took a while, right, for it to warm up. So again, same process, except for what I do with parsley, basil, leafy herbs is I ball it up and then I'm going to do what we call chiffonade. Again, I'm making sticks because the leaves are already like a slab or a slice. So I have the chiffonade of fresh parsley. I'm going to then, instead of trying to move it, I'm just going to bring my knife and walk it back like that. And look how much quicker and closer I am to minced parsley than most people get in this time. And I'm talking, I'm going to stop. All right? And we don't have to go super minced where it disappears. Depending on what I'm doing, sometimes I do that. And then we usually say if it's coloring the cutting board enough, it's minced enough. All right? Fresh chives. I'm just going to cut these as thin little slices as possible. I know there's a dip in my board, so for this I need to go at a little different angle. This board may be older than some of the people watching. I think I got this like 90, 93, somewhere around there. So how old is that? Almost 30 years old. The chunk is missing. 1/3 of it's missing. It's downstairs, the cable part. My fingers are a little sticky, so but I just figured I'd get this done. And I have a little fresh savory that came back from last year. So right now in the garden, I'm looking out front because there's a little salad table outside the kitchen window, which right now just has parsley and savory in it. So chives are in the other part of the backyard garden area. Okay, and then the savory is still tender, so I just cut the soft tops on. If you're not a fan, there we go. I can take the little bit of the tougher stalk off. But there we go. Maybe next week, I was thinking maybe next week I'll get some asparagus and do some asparagus again. Asparagus soup or something like that. So I have these nice little savory leaves. My grill is warming up. My chicken has been seasoned. My chicken has been tempering, so it's been out of the refrigerator for a good hour now. And it still felt pretty cold, so it takes a while. But it does really help make the cooking more efficient. And all the way around, it just does a better job. So I'm going to take the chives out of there and the blossoms, and we'll use the blossoms later on. A little sticky because of the garlic. love their firecrackers around here. Okay, and we'll give this a wipe. All right, so this is going, whoops, it lost me. All right, so this is going in here. So I've got dry herbs, I've got butter in there, garlic, and some fresh herbs. And so I don't forget later on, let's go ahead and get this ready. It doesn't matter. It's here, and nothing happens until I put some heat on it, okay? And let's go ahead and put some salt and pepper in it. So we'll go ahead, we might have to add more later on, but at least I've started the process. And a little bit of salt. Okay. All right, so that's for the potatoes. We're gonna go ahead and get these in. They're gonna, if they get cooked sooner than later, that's okay. I'm using the lid to keep from getting too splashed on. All right, I forgot about the steam for a second if you notice me jumping. All right, so for grilling the vegetables, okay. All right, so we've got eggplant. I'm going to cut most everything to make it easy on the grill. I'm going to make slices, longer than smaller pieces, larger than smaller pieces. I did that last week with the onions, I think, right? So it was a little easier to deal with. So I'm cutting the end off. I like my eggplant peeled. Some people don't care. I broke the one I had, so we looked online, and the quickest and the cheapest place was Amazon. 3 of them for like $9. So these are Kuhn, Kuhn, 3-pack. Can't beat that. Used to pay $5 at Williams Sonoma, I think, per unit. And unless you break it by smashing it in the drawer like I did 3 days ago, they last a long time. I think that one, again, was around for quite a while. Okay. All right, so I'm going to cut it in half this way first. Probably about 1/2-inch slices. I'm cutting with the front of the knife because I don't want it to stick and it's a little easier to deal with. If you get uncomfortable here, lay it down. I sometimes put my heel and the palm down a little bit to give it a little more stability. And to keep it from moving, I'll switch my finger to hold it there. All right. We do need to lay these out because I need to get these oiled. If they're not oiled nicely, they don't grill well. All right. Like I said, we're going to put the chicken on in a moment. All right, and this has all been washed. My wife washes everything from the grocery store now. So if you go like that, then you can kind of take this top off, pull your seeds out. Some people cut the 2 ends off, but to me that just seems really wasteful. Like somebody showed this to me, and it just seems to work pretty nicely. So I've got a red pepper, I got a couple bells, and I got a couple of the sweet Italian peppers. And you could have all this organized earlier today. The other thing you could do with those big chicken breasts, or just in general, I do have, if I don't have anybody to come over and eat dinner with me right now, there's no reason why you can't get this done in advance, right? And have it sitting there and figure out some different meals. The potatoes, I was going to make a potato salad with herb vinaigrette, which is almost what we're doing, but it's hot. But let's just say I wanted to add some vinegar to it. then I could have like more of a European style potato salad. Or I could add some, still add the vinegar a little bit tomorrow, let's say, or before I put it away in the refrigerator while it's still warm, just a little bit. And then if I wanted a more traditional, you know, a lot, the United States we like to use mayonnaise, and then add the mayonnaise afterwards. You get a much better flavorful potato salad if you take your potatoes when you cook them, then toss them in a light vinaigrette, and then they absorb more flavor in them. And then you can add your mayonnaise, and almost don't even need to add dressing stuff to your mayonnaise. Really, you're adding the flavor to the potatoes. All right. We're going to cut the ends off with the zucchini. Again, let's just look dirty without my glasses. All right, these are really sticky zucchini. Again, about 1/2 inch-ish. And we want them to be oiled as well. It seems like a lot of vegetables, but usually once you get it cut and cooked, then all of a sudden you put it up, and you're like, oh, it really wasn't that much. And again, I'm going to grill this. We're going to eat it at like room temperature. Anything left over, I could cube, and again, another salad, or I think all this would be really good reheated in the oven with like grated Parmesan on top. That'd be delicious.
Pasta.
Or with pasta. The other day, a couple weeks ago, we had leftover asparagus.
Yeah.
And we took that we cooked asparagus with you. We took the asparagus,
Pasta and Parmesan cheese.
and just cheese and the pasta, and it was delicious. Okay, and a couple onions. Again, it's as much vegetable, onion, whatever as you like, and any combination of what you like. The onions, so there's a little bit of not so good. That onion didn't get very big, did it? Not very far. Okay. I have a garbage disposal, so that's why it's yes, I should compost, but I don't have much space to compost. I haven't figured that out yet. My grandson Oscar comes, then he can help me figure it out. Might be watching. But he's not coming today. He's in California. So we'll save that for when Oscar comes. I could use, is there one more? Oh yeah, can you give me one more sheet pan over there, please? Okay, we don't need this. I'll get it out of the way. So all we need to do now is lightly season all of our vegetables so we can get them on the grill. And that's it. I don't know what time it is. I've only been doing this for about 20 minutes today. All right, so a little bit of balsamic vinegar. A little bit of oil. Put my finger on it. Slow it down a little bit. And I will probably put it on this side, and then I can sprinkle a little dry herbs on. Here. I'm going to spray everything as well. Okay, a little balsamic on this. Okay. All right, so we've got our vegetables to go out. Let's go out with our chicken first. Potatoes are cooking. I'm going to turn those down a little bit. All right. My photographer's coming with my camera woman. The grill's nice and hot. I need the spray.
Okay, you want it here?
Yeah. Oh, I kind of didn't get it very dirty last week. I usually put it on for a little bit. It gets the grill nice and hot.